Hello and welcome to the Grade 2 Music Theory Untangled course. The lessons for this video series for Grade 2 assume that you have completed the work in the Grade 1 Music Theory Untangled course. There are 9 video lessons, quizzes and worksheets. Watch this short video for Lesson 1, which focuses on time signatures and note values. Then find the concepts discussed in your concept sheets. Refer to these concepts as you complete the exercises for this lesson. Mark your work using the answer sheets and remember that there will sometimes be more than one correct answer. If you are unsure, check with your teacher. Let's dive in. Here is a quick revision of note and rest values. This series of videos uses both languages to describe notes, as some countries describe them as whole note, half note, etc., and other countries use the names semi-breve, minim, etc. Each note has an equivalent rest. In other words, each note is worth a certain amount of time as a sound, and each corresponding rest has a certain amount of time as silence. For example, a minim is a long note held for 2 counts, and a minim rest is a long rest where there is silence for 2 counts. Dots are used in music to represent different things. Some are below a note, some are above. A dot after a note or rest makes that note or rest longer by half again. For example, a dotted minim or dotted half note is worth 3 counts because it is made longer by half again. It is normally 2 counts long, and half of 2, or 1, is added. By combining notes together, we form rhythm, and that is laid over a beat. A time signature tells you how many even beats per bar, as well as what type of beat. This is done using 2 numbers. These 2 numbers are not fractions, they are just one number on top of the other. The top number tells you how many beats there are in each bar, and the bottom number tells you what type of beat or how long each beat is going to be. If there is a 4 on the bottom, then each beat will be a quarter note or crotchet. If there is an 8 on the bottom, then each beat will be an 1/8 note or quaver. We will start with simple time signs. These mean that each beat can be divided in 2 and what note will represent it. The most common time signs that most musicians are used to looking at is 2/4, 3/4, or 4/4 time. The bottom number 4 tells you that each beat is worth 1 crotchet or quarter note. If the top number is a 2, then there will be 2 crotchet beats in each bar. If the top number is a 3, then there will be 3 crotchet beats in each bar. If the top number is a 4, then there will be 4 quarter note beats in each bar. If there is a triplet, then all 3 quavers are played in the same time as 2 quavers and is a hint that you are in simple time. Here is an example of a rhythm in 4/4 time, and this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how all the notes in that bar add up to 4 beats, which you can see as a grey colour. Here is an example of a rhythm in 3/4 time, and this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice how all the notes in that bar add up to 3 beats, which you can see as a grey colour. Also, each beat can easily be divided in 2. Here is an example of a rhythm in 2/4 time, and this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice how all the notes in that bar add up to 2 quarter beats. Here is an example of a rhythm in 3/4 time with a triplet, and this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice how all the sounds in that bar add up to 3 crotchet beats. Also note that each beat can easily be divided into 2. When answering a question that is asking you to add notes or rests to complete a bar, it's a good idea to imagine or even write in the grey notes so that you can clearly see how many crotchet beats are given and how many more are needed. In compound times, we put quavers or eighth notes into groups of 3 and count each group as one beat. Because compound time signs often have larger top numbers than simple times and can be difficult to count. If there's an eighth on the bottom, it means that a quaver or eighth note is going to be worth 1 count. This example is compound duple or 6/8 time. This means that there will be 6 quaver or eighth notes in each bar, but we will be counting them in groups of 2. Also, a duplet is a hint that we are in compound time. Here are some examples of rhythms in 6/8 time, and this is what they sound like, one after the other. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice how all notes in that bar are grouped in 3 and the number of groups is 2. Also, note that each beat can easily be divided into 3. Here are some examples of rhythms in 9/8 time and 12/8 time. Let's start with 9/8. Notice how all the notes in that bar are grouped in 3 and the number of groups is 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice how all the notes in that bar are grouped in 3 and the number of groups is 4 for 12/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, note that each beat can easily be divided into 3. When answering a question that is asking you to add notes or rests to complete a bar, it's a good idea to imagine the grey notes so that you can clearly see how many quaver beats or groups of 3 are given and how many more are needed. Also, you need to complete each group of 3 before moving on to the next. Here are the most common mistakes students make. Check the bottom number of the time signature so that you are sure whether you are counting quarter notes or crotchets or eighth notes or quavers as beats. Forgetting that you use a tuplet as a clue to what the time signature is, for example, a triplet only occurs in simple time and a duplet only occurs in compound time. Read the question carefully. Complete a bar with only notes or only rests. You may have completed the question correctly according to the beats, but still be marked wrong if you used notes when the question asked for rests. When adding bar lines, there may be an anacrusis at the start. The clue will be how the quavers or eighth notes are beamed and how many beats would be in the last note in the last bar. And finally, when adding rhythm to text or words, say the words aloud and listen for the strong syllable. Remember to separate syllables with a hyphen so that each syllable gets a note. You are now ready to work through the Lesson 1 online quiz, then the worksheets. The information in this lesson can be found in your concepts sheets. Refer to these as you complete the online quiz, then again as you complete the worksheets for this lesson. Mark your work by comparing your answers to the answer sheets. Remember that there may be more than one correct answer for each question. See you next lesson.